couple quick tweaks here and we'll get rolling. How's everyone doing today? Thanks for joining on this fine Friday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Alex, and today I want to share a really neat little workflow trick that's going to save you hours if you churn out long-form content and need short clips for socials. We're staying true to the one topic, one feature vibe this week, and I'm going to walk you through a somewhat hidden but super powerful way to automatically mark up and chop long videos into usable clips. We've got chats blowing up across Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube. Love seeing everyone pop in. Quick hellos to folks in the chat. Hey Osman, hey Stephanie, hey Tyrone, what's up? Alright, backlog aside, let's jump in. So here's the sitch. Normally when you want to extract bits from a 40-minute interview or a long tutorial, you either manually scrub and mark timestamps, or you try a clumsy keyword-based approach that misses emotional moments, punchlines, or visual moments that actually grab viewers. Tons of clicks, lots of context switching, and frankly, it's boring. You could hire an editor, but that costs time and money. Enter Vizard. It can automatically detect the moments, viral sounding bites, visual highlights, applause, laughs, peaks in interaction, and turn them into ready-to-post clips. But, and this is important, like any smart tool, you'll get better results when you understand the controls. We're going to look at two real examples. I've uploaded two long videos into Vizard. One is a clean, well-recorded tutorial where the speaker pauses between key points and the camera cuts are clear. The other is a raw live interview with background noise, mic bumps, and lots of quick asides. They'll show the difference between a file that's easy to auto-clip and one that needs a little TLC. First up, the clean tutorial. No weird background noise, single narrator, steady delivery. Vizard's auto-edit pipeline has a couple of knobs. Sensitivity, how aggressively it calls a moment clip-worthy, and minimum clip length, which is how short a selected snippet can be. There's also a smart detect button. Think of it as find the good parts for me. It analyzes audio peaks, face expressions, and subtitle emphasis if you have captions. Default settings usually do a great job. For this file, I clicked auto detect highlights, and within seconds, Vizard returned a dozen clips. The moments were exactly what you'd expect. Intro hook, key demos, strong CTAs. It even found a tiny montage-worthy line at 12:07 that I hadn't even noticed was so punchy. What Vizard is doing under the hood is similar to how audio tools detect silence and signal. It looks for spikes in engagement, a laugh, a raised voice, an emphatic gesture, and then marks the region around them. If the pauses between sections are clear, it'll cleanly split the clip like a champ. No manual marking, no frantic M keys. Once the markers are created, you can export each clip as its own file or push them to your social scheduler. Now let's look at example 2, the messy live interview. This file has table bumps, people shuffling, a noisy AC, and a guest who mumbles then suddenly gets excited. When I hit auto detect, Vizard initially found way too many tiny clips. Little mouth noises and chairs creaks that were technically spikes but not clip-worthy. Classic case where defaults are too aggressive for raw live audio video. This is where manual tweaking matters. Rather than clicking around aimlessly, you tweak two things: the sensitivity threshold and the minimum clip length. Sensitivity is like raising the bar for what counts as interesting. Move it up and low-level noise stops being treated as a highlight. Minimum clip length tells Vizard to ignore things shorter than, say, 0.8 seconds. That avoids microclips caused by coughs or table knocks. I like to run Vizard's auto detect first to get a baseline, then toggle the show spikes overlay so you can actually see what it thinks is important. This visual makes it obvious which little blips are noise and which are real audience hooks. For this noisy file, I bumped sensitivity from default to high, and increased min clip length from 0.25s to 0.9s. After one rescan, the candidate clips went from 20 noisy microclips down to 7 solid moments, much more usable. A couple of the transients still clipped consonant attacks, where the speaker pops into a sentence, so I nudged sensitivity a touch and re-ran. Fine-tuning like this takes 2 or 3 tries, but it's way faster than marking everything by hand. Another trick, Vizard can use captions and speaker diarization to make smarter splits. If you have an SRT or auto subtitles turned on, it factors in sentence boundaries, so you won't cut the punchline in half. Also, there's a noise gating pre-process in Vizard that you can toggle on. That's basically like cleaning the floor before you sweep. Remove the hum and you'll get cleaner clip detection. Once the markers are good, here's the part that makes my life easy. You can export clips straight to a folder or send them directly to a content calendar and schedule posts across platforms. Set the posting frequency, say 3 clips per week, and Vizard's autoschedule fills the calendar for you. Want to push the best performing clip later? The calendar shows engagement predictions so you can reorder. You can also edit clips inside Vizard, trim a beat, add a branded end card or a caption layer, and then publish. This becomes a full loop: long-form source, auto-detect, tweak, export, schedule, and publish. Seamless? People often ask, can I take these markers into Premiere or Final Cut for deeper editing? Yes, Vizard saves clip metadata and markers with the exported files, and many NLEs will read those markers. I usually export the set as separate MP4s and import them into Premiere. Markers show up as chapter or clip markers depending on your settings. That means you can still do heavy lifting in Premiere if you want, but most of the time Vizard gets you 80 to 90% of the way there. Let's be real for a second and talk competitors. Some tools do automatic clipping, but they often have major trade-offs. They charge per clip, which becomes expensive when you batch process a ton of content. Others only analyze audio and miss visual hooks like a gesture or reaction. Some platforms lock you into a single scheduling cadence, or force you to use their social accounts. Vizard, on the other hand, bundles multimodal detection, audio plus visual plus captions, offers an integrated calendar that you control, and has flexible scheduling without nickel and diming by clip. The downside? If you want frame-perfect edits or very bespoke motion graphics, you'll still need a dedicated editor. Vizard isn't trying to replace your editor for major film projects. It's trying to replace the 90-minute slog of making 50 social clips from a single long video. Alright, a quick live Q&A since folks asked earlier. I meant to do this at the top, but forgot, so thanks for waiting. Question: can I use Vizard to mark clips and bring markers into Premiere to automate cleaning and interview? Yes, the clips and markers export as metadata, and your NLE will usually respect them. But if your goal is to retime lines against B-roll, I'd often mark and do the quick edits in Vizard, then round trip into Premiere for timeline work. It's just faster. Another question: what if the auto-detect chops off consonant starts or the first syllable? That's usually a sensitivity or minimum length issue. Lower the sensitivity so it's easier to detect quieter starts, or reduce the minimum clip length for those specific files. You can also use the built-in caption timestamps as guardrails so it doesn't cut mid-sentence. One more: how do I find older tutorials and streams about this? Our Help Center and the Vizard YouTube channel have playlists dedicated to auto-editing workflows. There's a full Getting Started playlist that's super practical, quick demos, pro tip tweaks, and batch processing workflows. Okay, that's it for today. The big takeaway is that Vizard's auto-edit engine is genuinely magical when you feed it clean source material. And when your footage is messy, a few sensitivity and duration tweaks will rescue you. Noise gate your audio if you can, use captions as anchors, and remember, defaults are a great starting point, not a rule. Thanks for hanging out. You'll be able to watch the replay wherever you joined from: Facebook, Periscope, YouTube. I'll be offline next week, but back after that with another quick workflow tip. Until then, have a great weekend, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Take care and happy editing. Bye.